Schemer here to talk about the Madden 19 season coming up. High skates was fun. High stakes was so much fun. Wow, what a run. But no, we're here to throw Madden 18 behind us and move over to Madden 19. Right now I feel, you know, disrespected. That's okay. That's all part of the game. People said the Giants was a reach. Bad pick. Guess what? We're going to be reaching for many touchdowns. When you got Odell Beckham, who's going to give any cornerback in the league trouble, put him with Barkley, tight end Ingram, and they got a young quarterback in Lavelle that they drafted. That's all I needed to start with. Hernandez at left guard and Nate Solder, who I might put at center. That's enough to start with. And what I got that some of the other teams don't have, all of those guys are age 25 and under. Age played a major part in this team. At D tackle, they also got a 6'5". You know, he gonna be running with the best. I love Collins at safety. Jenkins is gonna hold it down. Apple is the X factor. He is the X factor because he's the young boy. So I need him to develop into a stud at corner. So we're gonna take our chances. When you roll over to the Cowboys, have a solid offensive line. Got Elliott in the backfield, Prescott at quarterback. Great start. But his weapons don't scare nobody. I mean, he absolutely has no weapons to throw to. Hearns is not a Madden receiver. He's a real life receiver. Terrence Williams has 89 speed. They disrespected him and took him down. So with that being said, don't look for the Cowboys to threaten anybody in the division early on through the air. Defensive side of the ball, he's looking real good. Lawrence, you know, you got Lee for maybe one season. You got Byron Jones, people like him. So look for the Cowboys to put a lot of pressure and play solid defense. The problem is he don't know how to play defense. This guy was giving up major points, couldn't close out games. You know, some games he won because guys was fumbling the football to him. So Cowboys are in trouble. The Eagles have the greatest front four in the game, led by Cox and Brandon Ingram. Ouch. And when you got Darby at corner, who could take advantage of great pressure, the Eagles are going to do a lot of things. Then you got Alshon Jeffries at the receiver's position. Carson Wentz, who probably going to be a 95 to 99 overall when it's all said and done. He might put Pumphrey at running back. That's the starter. Solid offensive line. Great. Now, for us, the inside numbers, when we roll over to the Redskins got some weapons. They got Reed and they got Vernon Davis as tight end tandem. They also got Richardson with 94 speed in the slot, depending on how he uses him. I'm saying, people got weapons for us, the Eagles, Giants, and Redskins in the air. Cowboys, they just don't have it. I don't see how he's going to move the ball. I mean, he might try to play action, but he's going to have very little success. On the defensive side of the ball for the Redskins, you got Nicholson with 92 speed. They got a low-rated strong safety with 94 speed. Then they got Fabian Monroe with 94 speed. And the reason I didn't pick the team was because of Zachary Brown with 88 speed. The guy's great, but I didn't pick him. Then on the D line, you know, they drafted Payne out of Alabama, you know, and Jonathan Allen out of Alabama, back-to-back seasons. Josh Norman probably be a one-year guy, but look for him to fold after 2 years. He might even try to put him at safety. But in my mind, the Redskins are deep at safety. Just my opinion. So with that being said, for its division title, look for the Eagles to win 4 division titles. Look for the Giants to win 4 division titles. Look for the Cowboys to win none. Look for the Redskins to win none. Redskins might sneak in on a playoff appearance, but that's about it. He's going to be chasing the whole time. But I have a lot of respect for this guy. He came in late, so we'll see what happens. But if you can't play defense in this division here, that's it. All right, let's move over to the next division. NFC West. before we even start breaking down the teams, look for the Niners to win 8 division titles in this division. He will not lose not one division title. This guy can take an average team and make them great. As far as the Cardinals, that's one of their strengths is Patrick Peterson. He can cover anybody in the league. They did lose Honey Badger. That's a big knock. Um, I do like Buchanan at the middle linebacker position. He doesn't have the support of Calais Campbell, so that can hurt him a little bit because he's really light and needs a strong push up front. So that's pretty much the standout on defense. For his offense, they do have Larry Fitzgerald to get him through one season. That's about it. But he gonna have to rely strongly on their running game. David Johnson will have to get 2,000 yards rushing for the Cardinals to have a chance. This is one of the lowly rated teams of the game, which is why they was picked 27. Shoot, some leagues they were picked 30. So, but I do like the quarterback out of UCLA. Um, I think they'll be okay. Let's see here. Roll over to the 49ers. Niners got Garoppolo at quarterback. They got McKinnon at running back. Not my type of back, but they got like a scat back. He can get through the cracks real quick. But I like a cornerback that people don't talk about much. Witherspoon. Big physical corner. Fast, get down the field. He got Solomon bringing the pressure. You can't beat that. But with Garcon being their best receiver with like 89 speed, that might not be good for them. So the Niners are going to play, again, dominant ball with an average squad, but he can do that. He's been doing it the whole time he's been playing. So look for the Niners to win the division title despite the lack of talent. But I do like what they did in the draft in the first round when they picked up left tackle McKinney. That was a good pickup. And he's a superstar. So keep that in mind. The Rams, who are led by the D-line, who have superstars like Donaldson, and they also got Ndamukong Suh. They lost Quinn to the Dolphins, who's a great pass rusher. They also lost Ogletree to the Giants. I think Ogletree right now gonna play left outside linebacker for me. We'll see how things shape up because Lorenzo Carter gonna be the one I want to utilize the most. But for us, the rest of the defense on the Rams, Talib probably a one-year player who's super slow, and then you got Peterson, who if he can get up to 94 speed, he'll be great. But I don't see that happening. He's got 90 speed. You know, that was the reason I didn't pick this team. I didn't think the secondary would make it easier on me to play, along with some other things. Linebackers ain't all that fast and great. You know, just not the team I wanted to inherit. On the offensive side of the ball, you got Gurley, Cook, and you got Goff. And I like the tight end Everett. To me, that was one of the top 5 foursomes. Because right now, everybody keep talking about the big 3. If you got a tight end, okay, consider yourself having the big 4. Or you might have 2 tight ends, and 1 receiver, and a running back, a quarterback. Sometimes you may have 2 receivers, a running back, and a quarterback. You know, giving yourself the big 4. You know, but everybody's mission, you know, is to kind of create a big 4, big 5. So if that's everybody's mission, good luck. Okay, over to the Seahawks. Seahawks are pretty good for his youth, younger than people think. I know Russell Wilson on offense is 30 years old. I know Baldwin is up in age. You know, they did get a young running back named Penny, who could go for Rookie of the Year. But in that division, I don't see that happening. Offensive line still needs work. They lost Graham to the Packers. You know, so unless Lockett is doing damage in the slot, it's going to be hard to score, even though Russell Wilson can make all the throws. Now you go to the defensive side of the ball, which is what I really love. You got Griffin at corner, Earl Thomason behind him, but you also got Griffin's brother at linebacker with 91 speed beside Wagner. And this team is deeper than people think at defensive end. They lost Bennett to the Eagles, so people are like, oh, they're going to start losing. But you got to understand, they got Clark, Deion Jordan playing end. This is franchise mode. People got pieces on the bench nobody ain't thinking about. Now, they will have to replace Cam Chancellor after one season. because this league doesn't let you switch safeties at linebackers based upon weight. So after 1 year, Cam Chancellor could get the walking papers. With that being said, again, Niners will win all 8 divisions. The Rams, led by, I think the Rams was picked up by E. Rumble. He'll get in the playoffs. This is Mr. Playoff Man. He won't win no division titles. The Cardinals definitely won't win no division titles. Seattle's the sneaky team here. Seattle's the very sneaky team. I don't see him doing no damage, but he got the pieces to do damage. He got the pieces to actually win. But no division titles for the Seahawks. Again, 8 division titles for the 49ers, 0 for the Cardinals, 0 for the Rams, 0 for the Seahawks. As far as the NFC South, the Buccaneers are a pretty interesting team. But he's in a division with Chico hosting the Lions. You got Matty Lowe rolling with the Saints. And then for us, the Panthers, you got Batman. Now, we'll start with the Saints. Saints, to me, is the best owner in this division. He has a lot of weapons. When you got Drew Brees, you can hold it down for one season to get the ball to Thomas. And then you got a backfield tandem of Ingram and Kamari. Look for this guy to do a lot of damage. And they had a pretty decent offseason. But they already stacked though. Because when you look at the defensive side of the ball, you got Davenport, who's basically drafted in the first round, on the same D-line as Cameron Jordan. And you got Lattimore in the backfield covering. That's a lot to worry about. And one guy you guys always sleep on is Crawley. Crawley's a pretty good corner. A very, very solid corner. So, look for them to be great. Now, the thing about this team, they got great height and jump, but the speed is low. Because they brought over Cameron Meredith, too. But he only has about 89 speed. He's not a speedster. So, Ted Ginn would need to be replaced after one season. Rolling over to the Panthers, this team has, oh my goodness, the greatest speed on the game when you talk about inside the numbers. Their defensive captains is, of course, Kuechly. Tommy Davis at linebacker is good, but he's only a 1-year guy. Then you got Bradbury, who a lot of people like. But they got a lot of help on defense with a bunch of no-namers that have speed. When you go to the offensive side of the ball, you got McCaffrey, speed running back. That is huge. They got DJ Moore, Sanders, guys with 95 speed and 92 speed. And then you got one more team leader, and Greg Olsen. After 1 or 2 seasons, they'll look to replace him, but for now, they're good to go. And then one thing I like that they did on defense, I didn't mention earlier, they did get Pope. I strongly considered this team, but I wanted to come out the gate swinging. Not go get a guy like Olsen and he's gone in 2 years, or come out, lose 4 or 5 games in a row, waiting on Carolina's receivers to develop. They do have Kevin Funches, but that ain't the type of receiver I wanted. Who you taking? You taking Funches or Odell Beckham? There go your answer. Rolling over to the Falcons, one of the best all-around teams out the gates, well balanced. When you say out the gates, first 2 seasons, this team gonna cause headaches. Then they'll run into a little trouble. Julio gonna be on the decline. They'll start trying to make trades probably. But Matt Ryan, you know what I'm saying, and Julio, expect them to connect a lot. Lions last year in Madden 18, who is now the owner of the Falcons, does a pretty good job. He made back-to-back playoffs and even got a lottery pick in high stakes. Man, great job with a below-average team. Now, if you get hurt, you got Freeman and Coleman to depend on, unless you make a trade and then drop the running back to, be the backup to one of those guys. Defensive side of the ball, you also got McKinley from UCLA, and then you got Vic Beasley. Oh man, that's the force on the defensive end, bringing the pressure. But the highlight of that defense, everybody says Jones at middle linebacker. You got Trufant up in age, but he can hold it down. I don't care for Neal too much, so it's really interesting to see how he deals with the safety Neal. And one more key piece they have is Ridley on offense. EA Sports has Ridley listed as a superstar. That is big. So now you could build up him to go alongside Julio Jones. Got a couple of drafts. By the time, what I'm saying, Julio is on his way out, Ridley becomes the number one guy. And then you got somebody coming from the draft. So I passed up on this team because I didn't think the D tackle stood out. The tight end position wasn't all that. And they're not my type of safeties. But they're just me. This is a great team, and this was one of my Final Four teams. When I picked the Giants, I was also considering the Falcons, the Giants, Minnesota, Jacksonville. I remember last night I was just like tossing and turning between Jacksonville and the Giants, and boom, woke up, look up under the Christmas tree, that was the Giants. So that being said, with the Buccaneers next, the Buccaneers got Mike Evans, one throw, touchdown. They got Winston, who's still young, who can be better than what he is now. They got a rookie in the draft with 93 speed at running back. They got Godwin at receiver. They also have Deshaun Jackson, who they're going to try to replace. But what really makes them a good team, they do have, a tight end in O.J. Howard, who causes mismatches. I didn't take the Bucks because I like Barkley over who they got in the backfield. I think I'm going to start with a rookie over Winston. And Odell Beckham, for the style of play I want to bring, I'm going to go with him. I've used Mike Evans many times. This will be my first time using Beckham, by the way. And then you look at the defensive side of the ball. Bucks did a good job of picking up Vita Vea to go alongside McCoy. Man, nice. Then you got Hargreaves, who should be up and coming. I think he's been kind of like an average corner as of late. At safety, I don't like their safeties, but the people that uses the Bucks, they like Evans. They love Evans at safety. He's young. He's coming into his second season. Grimes, the wily vet, I don't like him. He wouldn't be a part of my plans. 1 year, he's out. And then, you got Jason Pierre-Paul, who I think is good for real life, but for Madden, definitely around the 4th or 5th round, you want to pick up a backup to take his spot. With that being said, look for the Saints to win 6 division titles, Falcons to win 2 division titles, Panthers to win 0 division titles, and the Buccaneers to win 0 division titles. Moving over to the NFC North, you got this is what you're going to call the redemption division. Guys who are pretty good but came in on their teams late, especially the Bears owner and Solomon Kane, and then the Vikings owner, Rich Champion. When you had the Dolphins last year, dog, you should have said Rich Prospect because you had a below average team. Now you can say Rich Champion because the Vikings are really a championship team. When you talk about the secondary led by Harrison Smith and Xavier Rhodes. Then you got Trey Wayne that everybody likes. Then you got Barr at linebacker. You might want to pick up one more. I didn't pick up this team because Everett and Joseph on the D-line, who are great, they're just 29 years old already. One thing I like about this team is the receivers. Diggs and Thielen, two-headed monsters. Y'all remember the Twin Towers, David Robinson and Tim Duncan? That's exactly what these guys are. Two-headed monster. And Kirk Cousins has 92 throwing power, which a lot of people probably didn't know. But I scooped that out. I scoped it out or whatever. Then you got Cook at running back, which is great. I like Cook a lot. But once again, I passed up on this team who's in my top 5, all because some of the key positions are just too old. Didn't want to roll with that. Rolling over to the Bears. The Bears going to have trouble with Trubisky coming out the gates. But he does have a running back tandem to lean on, and Jordan Howard, and then you also got Tariq Cohen. But what's the standout on this team is Allen Robinson, a one-catch guy who can score at any time, any moment. They also got Trey Burton at tight end. So he's not far from having, what the Giants had, across the board. He's really not. Almost pretty even. But I just think that the Giants, players are just a little bit better, just edging out for us overall. Um, Offensive line wise, they're just basically average across the board. And when you go to the defensive side of the ball, I don't think the corners are that great. Kyle Fuller kind of got disrespected in Madden. Had a Pro Bowl type season in his last year, but I think the 2 or 3 previous years before that is why they didn't put him too high. I love Amos. You can put Amos anywhere on the field. Some people even put him at corner, but he can play this free. He can play the strong. Really bright spot for that team. But the highlight of the team is Roquan Smith. 89 speed at middle linebacker, and he's going to be there for the entire 8 years. And he has beef in front of him. When you talk about Goldman and you go and talk about Hicks, and don't forget about Lloyd coming off the edge as well. So, this is a pretty interesting team. For as the Lions, they're gonna have trouble making separation. They lost tight end Ibram to the Colts. Man, the Lions are in trouble. Even their great wide receivers on the outside, and Golden Tate and Marvin Jones Jr., they're not gonna be able to get away. You're gonna have to shake and bake, play action. Matthew Stafford can throw the best deep ball, in the game. But I just don't see this team getting away from, the cornerbacks around the league. I just don't see that. But like I said, for each his own. You look at the defensive side of the ball for them. You look at Slay and Enswa. They do have Tabar from Florida, the cornerback. I don't like him. I'll be trying to replace him as well. These guys need some help. They need some help. Nagata came back, but this team here, in most leagues, look how late they're going. Pick 30 with pride. I mean, the Lions team, you better hope Slay get 3 picks a game to have a chance of winning this division. I don't see it happening. Rolling over to the Pack, arguably the best quarterback in the game, Aaron Rodgers. Man, this guy's a beast. Aaron Rodgers will get the job done. This guy can make all the throws. He got Cobb and Devontae Adams, who's very much improved. I think that led to the release of Jordy Nelson. I like at running back Montgomery. He's a receiving back. The O-line is steady. When you go to the defense side of the ball, they got one of the best young secondaries. Josh Jones at free safety. I still like Kevin King. They brought over Wilkerson from the Jets. So the Packers have improved, but other teams have too. So it'll be very interesting to see how it shapes out. With that being said, I got the Bears winning 5 division titles. I got the Vikings winning 3 division titles. I got the Packers winning 0 division titles. I got the Lions winning 0 division titles. Now, a lot of people have respect for Bino, so he's the wild card factor. So the Bears and Vikings, you better watch out for these teams, because they could come over and bite you at any given time. But that's my take on it. All right, we're going to come out this screen right quick, get some movement going, and we'll come right back in here. And I will go over to the AFC side, just so I won't get disconnected. Okay. Starting out with the AFC North. As far as the AFC North, these guys know each other real well. They don't play in Dynasty together, played each other. They don't did it in Blueprint. So with that being said, I got the Steelers coming out the gate. He's the one that has the best team out the gates. Le'Veon Bell, Big Ben, Antonio Brown. Got some complimentary receivers in J.J. Schuster. I think they still got Darius Hayward-Bay, who can score in one play. But Hayward-Bay probably won't be there for long. Offensive line, D. Castro. He's nice. You can always run behind him when you get near the goal line. Defensive side of the ball, I heard Shazir's coming back, got 86 speed. You also got Artie Burns at corner, pretty good. Hayward on the defensive line, that's an anchor. But they need some help. Dupree got mistreated on this game. Dupree is not even an 80 overall. He plays better than that. So look for him to be a factor. He might can turn him around. This guy's a defensive master. This whole division is about defense except for the Bengals. Moving on to the Raiders. actually the Baltimore Ravens, another defensive guy. Um, uh, right now on the offensive side of the ball, I think they lackluster. I just don't see them moving the ball too much. But he does have Jackson, who they drafted. He does have Perriman with like 95 speed. Possession guy, definitely gonna be Crabtree. The running backs, they have a bunch of power backs, not really a speed back, but the offensive line is pretty above average, led by all-time Pro Bowler Yonder. Yonder is great. I like Yonder a lot. I wish he was on my team right now. Let me see here. Now, if you go to the defensive side of the ball, they got Mosley, C.J. Mosley, who could pick anything in the air. You know, I think Weddle at free safety is getting a little bit up in age. I'd be looking to replace him early. You know, so just look for this team to make a lot of moves through the draft. Underrated might not make too many trades till you get beat up on a few times by the Steelers. That's pretty much it. Suggs is even up in age. You know, look for Suggs to have one good season, and that's probably gonna be it. Now we move over to the Browns. This is the best young team in the game. Made me think that way anyway. They got Denzel Ward, who's gonna pretty much remind me of Deion Sanders coming out of college. They got Myles Garrett. That's big. That is huge. Then you look at the other parts of the defense. This team here, man, you give them 2 good years, considering, you know, Richie, how he played with the Colts, they could be fighting for the division title too. You know, but he got some big time monsters to overcome when they play at their best. As far as offensive side of the ball, you got Gordon, you got Coleman, you got, you know, the young quarterback Mayfield, who I think has a chance to be a 90 overall. Cause I think Matt gonna give him some love. Duke Johnson in the backfield. Would I lean on him? No, but who never know. This guy may lean on Duke Johnson. He does have 90 speed, so it is a chance. But I'll be looking elsewhere. Because if you got 90 speed, I think you should be like 21 or 22. That's just my take. I always want somebody who's going to get better. Moving over to the Bengals. The Bengals have Ross. The Bengals got A.J. Green. That's big. Out the gates. And you got Eifert. Dalton should be able to get the ball to them if he keeps Dalton. But he might go with Driscoll. Still, if the ball can get there, you can make plays. You do have A.J. Green to lean on, because I think that Ross is going to drop a lot of balls, you know, early on. So we'll see, though. We'll definitely see what the Bengals bring to the table. Because right now, this guy here is not even a good defensive coach. He's great on offense with highlights, but defensively, you could put up 40 points on him anytime. Now, he said he did good in other leagues, but come on, son. It's all about what you do in this league. You know, so I wish y'all the best. This team, the Bengals, got some good inside numbers at linebacker, too. They got guys with 88 speed and 87 speed. Y'all better check them out. Malik Jefferson is one of them. Malik Jefferson got 87 speed. And I can tell, I like how the Bengals did their homework. Considering how late he picked, this guy was on top of his game. The Bengals are not a bad team. And last but not least, the D tackles, Geno Atkins and Billings. To me, that is the first or second best tandem in the game, behind McCoy as well as Vette. So when you think of D tackles, the Bengals and the Bucks, in my mind, have the best tandem at D tackle. Okay, with that being said, I got the Steelers winning 5 division titles. I got the Browns winning 2 division titles. I got the Ravens winning 1 division title. And I got the Bengals winning 0 division titles. We're going to come out one more time so it won't disconnect. Go back in. Okay, now the AFC South, the Colts owner, I'm going to win it all. This dude won 6 titles in Madden 18 in the blueprint. That is huge. Now he has SJ with the best defense in the game. I still think they're average on offense, but we'll see what happens. Texans and the Titans are also in this division. But let's go ahead and cap off on the Titans. I think the Titans was looking, Chuck Grisby. Not Chuck Grisby, Gus Eastbeast. Gus Eastbeast picked a team similar to his style. That's what this division did. With the exception of the Colts, who just got the last team. This guy here, with the Colts, won 6 division titles. I think that he can still do damage with them, but we'll see. But the Titans kind of got a mirror of his system. I played him before with the Saints. Henry gonna be a big part of his game. He runs the ball real well. You got Mariota at the quarterback who's still developing. But the reason I didn't pick this team is because I think personally, so a lot of people say Henry, but I think Delanie Walker is their best weapon on offense. You don't pick your best weapon on offense that old. So that's why I skipped the Titans. When your best weapon on offense is the oldest one, I kind of want to skip those teams. So Delanie Walker, they got a solid offensive line, but Delanie Walker was the reason I didn't pick this team. But he still has a go-to guy. So look for a lot of play action to Delanie Walker. He's gonna run the ball steadily with Henry. So look out. For his defense, I love Adoree Jackson. That's a huge pickup. And then you got Casey on the D line. That's pretty solid. So he kind of picked to his strengths on what he liked to do. I don't think the receiver's going to do too much, but that's why he call it franchise mode. He got to find a receiver in the haystack that's going to be a threat to the Jacksonville Jaguars, to the Colts. Can he do it? That remains to be seen. Now you go to the Texans, the best safety tandem in the game. Oh my goodness! When you got the Honey Badger and you match him up with Hall, man, that's a lot of interceptions. But the cornerbacks are weak. So this team will be zoning a lot. They might even play cover 2 more than they supposed to. Because you're going to have Clowney and Watts coming off the edge, making it easy. And McKinney in the middle at the linebacker, who only has 84 speed. But the guy makes a lot of plays. I watched him in broadcast. McKinney makes a lot of plays for 84 speed. But Jonathan Joseph, probably after one season at the cornerback spot, they'll get rid of him. I really don't think Jonathan Joseph is all that right now. He's not a good commodity. This team has to go into the draft thinking corner. Have to. But on the offensive side of the ball, they don't have to go into the draft, desperately. So looking at it like this here, Deshaun Watson to Hopkins and Fuller, they should be connecting all game long. They don't have a tight end that I like, but he'll find one in the haystack. The running back position, Foreman is the power back. Lamar Miller on the decline after probably one season. He's a speed back. Not the kind of backfield I wanted, so I passed on them too. But this is a great, great top 10 team. In most eyes, they're a top 5 team, and I can't argue that. All right, moving over to the Jaguars, the best cornerback tandem in the game. When you got Ramsey and Aboye, you can almost call any defense. They got speed at the linebacker position. Oh my goodness, man. T. Smith, man. Miles Jack, that's a lot of speed. You never know, they might come out blitzing. But I don't like the safeties on this team. I'm not big on their D tackles. I know Fowler's at the defensive end. Calais Campbell's too old. But he'll probably give him one season anyway. For us, the offense, I didn't want to put too much faith in Blake Bortles, but I could see people giving him a chance, just like Expert did, in the Dynasty. He's not a bad quarterback, but not the kind of guy I wanted to invest in. Now here's the thing: year one, his receivers gonna drop a lot of balls. They got good inside numbers. They got one guy on their team who's 6'4" with 94 speed, and then you got Westbrook, 93 speed, who's 6'6", 179 pounds. He probably gonna be in the slot. But that 6'4" guy, and I know experts on him, he's gonna be somebody to watch. But one of the key weapons that made me thought about Jacksonville, which is why I was tossing and turning in my bed, thinking about the Giants and Jacksonville, which one I'm gonna pick. They have Safarian Jenkins at the tight end spot. The problem is my tight end Ingram was like younger. Tell you, man, age is big on this game. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Age is big. And look at the Bengals. Same situation. Guys are picking not only the best teams, they're going for the youth too. So they can have guys, when high stakes come, they want to have those guys out there. I don't blame them. You know? So, look for Fournette, to have a big season. He's going to have to lean heavily on the running game. I do like the old lineman, Cam Robinson. So, we'll see how he put things all together. Now, for the Colts, they have a safety talent. They don't have to do nothing. They can just leave it as is. You got Malik Hooker. You got T.J. Green. That's enough to say, okay, lead them there for the whole entire franchise. Those guys don't have to be moved at all. And then you kind of look at the offensive side of the ball. They got Ingram from Detroit. They got Luck. You got T.Y. Hilton to get you through the first couple of seasons. And that's gonna be big. They lost Moncrief to Jacksonville. So we're gonna see how all this shapes up. I think, it's gonna pan out pretty good. But the Colts, they got some interesting pieces too. Just a bunch of no-name pieces on that defense. So we're gonna actually see exactly what the Colts are made of. Now, when you talk about winning a division title, I got the Colts winning 6 division titles. I got the Jacksonville Jaguars winning 2 division titles. I got the Texans winning 0 division titles. I got the Titans winning 0 division titles. All right, not bad. We're going to come out and go in again. Now, as we break down the AFC East, clearly the best owner in this division is definitely the Jets. D. Junks. I mean, he got the Jets high. We're talking about pick 10. You never thought the Jets was going to pick 10. I said the Jets might go in the top 5. People thought I was stupid. This team got some inside numbers that are very sneaky. You got, on the offensive side of the ball, you got Robbie Anderson. You got a young QB, Donald. I like Rawls in the backfield. So that's going to be the key right there. So if you want to talk about the big 3, there's your big development 3 right there. So you go to the defensive side of the ball. They brought in Jermaine Johnson. They got Jamal Adams to run the secondary. Linebackers are pretty fast. But the question is, how do they make up for the loss of Sheldon Richardson and Wilkerson? So that remains to be seen. When you look at Buffalo, got the strongest arm quarterback in the entire NFL as a rookie. Man, Josh Allen, he can throw from goal line to goal line. But who's he going to throw to? People say Zay Jones. I don't look at Zay Jones as coming out the gate scoring touchdowns left and right. I do not. Now, McCoy, he can catch everything. He got 90 speed right now. But he's going to need a quick replacement for that. Benjamin, once you get to the red zone, is as good as anybody. On the defensive side of the ball, Tre'Davious White, I can consider him a shutdown corner. The guy got numbers. And they got Mika, at the safety position, who came over from the pack. So, Mika Hyde. That's it. So Mika Hyde, to me, has all the awareness and the zone skill. So look for one side of the field to be shut down. Not bad at all. And then you got Edmonds. Tremont Edmonds. That's big. Tremont Edmonds, 87 speed. 20 years old. 6'5". That is tremendous. And this guy's 249. You can put him at all the linebacker positions. Every last one of them. That is going to be a formidable defense. So if you know how to coach, the Bills team is going to be great. Now, forgot about Clay at tight end. He's serviceable, But the reason I ain't called his name out earlier because that ain't nobody who you want to depend on. You want to get somebody to replace him. So yeah, Clay at the tight end position needs to be replaced. Rolling over to the Dolphins, I think the Dolphins have some sneaky pieces. Some of the pieces that I like. On offense, Parker. Wide receiver Parker is 6'3" with 91 speed. Tannehill can play you a couple of seasons while you try to develop another quarterback. They got some sneaky pieces at running back. Damian, who got like 91 speed. They're pretty good. Um, the Dolphins are going to be a team that's going to struggle though. Because after Devontae Parker, who does he have to go along with that? So until about season 3, I don't see the Dolphins coming out the gates causing too much damage. But this guy's a pretty good player. So it'll be based upon him, not the Dolphins. On the defensive side of the ball, you got Fitzpatrick. Oh man, you can play corner, safety, whatever. You know, I like Jones too at safety, but he's a little slower, but he can still play the position. And the defensive end tandem of Cameron Wake and Robert Quinn for the first 2 seasons should raise havoc. So the Dolphins had just enough because they got McMillan, the youngster at linebacker, who could roam around the field as well. So look for McMillan to make a lot of plays, but the team gonna make a lot of mistakes first. This team needs a couple of seasons to really gel together. So look for the Dolphins to be up and coming. Now when you go over to the Patriots, Brady gonna give you 1 season. I feel Brady coming in at 1 season. Gronk is old. He's gonna be there for the maybe 4 seasons, but they don't have no receiving threat to scare you downfield 1-on-1. This is gonna be a team game. If you can play a team game, you got a chance. But when you get in trouble 3rd and 19, I expect this team to struggle a lot. You know, they did pick up running back Mika from Georgia, so it seemed like the Patriots in real life, they wanted to improve the run game, which is okay. They had a shot to get a bunch of good receivers, but they chose the run game over that. Now the defensive side of the ball, same thing. What are they gonna do? I mean, I just don't understand. Now they did pick up Sheldon, the defensive tackle from the Browns, to take the place of Will Falk, because that defense in the middle ain't been the same. And why was the Browns so stupid to help the Patriots out? But they do have D tackle Danny Shelton now. Don't forget about Hightower, he's still in the fold. So up front, they'll get pressure. This is gonna be a pretty good, once again, pretty good team. But you got to play team ball. You can't leave nobody by themselves. So if you can't leave nobody by themselves, it's gonna make it harder to play defense. So y'all gonna be zoning all day with this team. And that's what Belichick is known for anyway, zoning the field. You won't find too many corners, not even Butler too much in man-to-man. And with Butler in Tennessee, another good corner the Titans picked up. So look for, Butler in Tennessee to be a good force alongside Adoree Jackson. Tennessee going to be a force in real life. It depends on how the owner uses them. But the Patriots lost some key pieces. But we'll see how everything fits. So let's go ahead and based on divisions, I got the Jets winning seven division titles. I'm gonna get the Patriots 0 division titles. I'll get the Dolphins 1 division title. The Bills 0 division titles. Okay, we're gonna come out and go in again. AFC West. AFC West. Man, you know what? I got the Chargers dominating this division with the Chiefs running a close second race. Close second in the race or whatever. Broncos, Raiders, man, y'all got y'all work cut out. The Chargers right now have Ingram, Bosa, man, Dorian James, Verrett, Hayward, all on the same defense. And legit, Luigi is not that bad. I think he'll replace him because he hasn't really panned out to be a 90-some overall D tackle. When you see that happening, you got to figure he's going to be replaced. So, with that being said, I think that the Chargers are headed in the right direction. They got some sneaky guys on defense at the linebacker spot, but that's okay. That defense is loaded. Offensively, Phillip Rivers is up in age, but for the first season, they should come out scoring. You got Melvin Gordon, who I love. This guy here is just a beast. He's a beast at the running back position. They do have Keenan Allen. I like him a lot. And based on some of the corners in this division, especially the Chiefs, even Mike Williams, drafted out of USC, should be able to come in and dominate the Chiefs out the gates. Even the Raiders. The Raiders don't have no high overall corners. They fast, but they're not high in overall. So Keenan Allen and Mike Williams might come in and dominate. Offensive line is so-so. They're good enough to get a push. So look for the Chargers to dominate. Moving over to the Chiefs. To me, they got probably the best receiving crew. I call them the best threesome. You got Conley, who nobody thinks about too much. You got Tyreek Hill. And you got Sammy Watkins. That's three receivers you got to worry about. I mean, I don't even want to play the Chiefs. Then you got a nice running game going on. So Mahomes playing the quarterback. So you got a young quarterback, young receivers who are like 25 and under. Kelsey at tight end. That's a lot to worry about. That's a lot. The defensive side of the ball in the secondary is weak. Because outside of Eric Berry and, Justin Houston, they weak. So you have to hope Justin Houston is bringing pressure. And then Eric Berry can take advantage of that. But that's not enough. Odell Beckham, man, he would torch them. Now rolling over to the Broncos, another great defensive end tandem in Chubbs and Von Miller. That's pretty good when you got cornerbacks like Roby and Chris Harris. Problem is the safeties. The safeties have to be coached real well on this team. They brought in Craven from the Redskins, but he's not going to improve them too much. Now, in real life, he'll be a good baller, but we're talking Madden. Broncos also need to speed up the linebackers. These linebackers are, Marshall is a good tackler, but you got to understand, you're going to have to at least sometimes run downfield in this game. And he's already like towards 30. No. He's not going to make that many plays. Now, one season with him, I'll be looking to replace Marshall at the middle linebacker spot. The same thing with the offensive side of the ball. Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel, they're going to come out the gates catching the ball. They lost Benny Fowler to Chicago, but they picked up Sutton in the draft. So, Sutton is not my type of receiver, but he can go up and get it. So this is a good hands team. But I don't think that the Broncos is going to separate themselves from the rest of the division based on who's in the division. So even with that particular cast that can catch everything, look for the Broncos to struggle. Question is he going to start Paxton Lynch? Go for a Rick in the draft? Because, this franchise mode. So, guys going to start their young quarterbacks. And with that being said, let's go ahead and move over to the Raiders. The Raiders would be, they fell all the way to 25. Dirk got a steal. The only steal he didn't get is in the backfield. There's no backfield. Lynch is already sitting in a wheelchair. So is Jordy Nelson. But what you do have is Amari Cooper. Not only do you have Amari Cooper, you also got Martavis Bryant, who's 6'4", with 93 speed. That's a steal. With Carr throwing the ball, you have to be saying to yourself, we're going to ride with you three guys, but we got to rebuild everything else. And to me, they got one of the top 5 offensive linemen in the game, too. Their offensive line crew is a beast. They second to the Cowboys to me. After the Cowboys, I think Oakland got the second best line. On the defensive side of the ball, they got Mack and Bruce Irvin coming for the quarterback's head. You got Mel Fonwu and Conley in the secondary. You can start out with this team. They just old in a lot of spots, which is why I passed up on them. They bought over even David Johnson from the Chiefs at middle linebacker. He old. Marshawn Lynch is old. You know, Gruden likes a lot of old players. So, with all that being said, I got the Chargers winning 6 division titles. I got the Chiefs winning 2 division titles. The Raiders winning 0 division titles. And the Broncos winning 0 division titles. So that covers everything. Again, people laughed at me when I picked the Giants, when I had first dibs. That's okay. Because I got pieces that your team ain't got, and I know everybody else has that too. You look at Jacksonville with Ramsey. Nobody else ain't got that. Look at my tight end, Ingram. Ain't nobody got that. Look at Beckham. Ain't nobody got that. Very few Barclays out there. You know. I got a rookie linebacker with 88 speed. It's going to be a force. And I like Damian Harris a lot. The man got like 95 strength. And he got 96 block shit. So, if we can get another D tackle to go alongside him, 1 or 2 more linebackers, we'll be ready to go. The offensive linemen, they'll just fall in place. So, you can text all your input inside the chat box. But that's going to cover this particular video. Good luck, fellas. I'll give my small input on Super Bowl. I feel I can go to the Super Bowl. I feel the Eagles can go. I feel Atlanta can go. I feel the Bears can go. The Niners. Okay. I feel Rich Champion can go with the Vikings. I feel like Matty Lowe, the Saints can go. That's it for the NFC. For the AFC side of the ball, I think T-Pain can go to the Super Bowl. I think that Mr. Witness can go to the Super Bowl with the Chargers. I like Terradome chances. I don't like nobody in the AFC East. I don't think nobody coming out of that one. You know, I like the Colts chances. I like SJ with the Jacksonville Jaguar chances. You know, the Colts, I'm going to win it all. I like his chances too. So basically, those are my Super Bowl contenders to get to the Super Bowl. You know what? Let's throw the Browns in that division. Let's throw the Browns in there. I'm not going to throw the Ravens in there. I just don't think underrated got enough talent. Let's get the Browns a chance to get to the Super Bowl too. I like him. All right. Peace, fellas.